Okay, we are ready to proceed in, it looks like 5 cases involving the defendant, Alan Wayne Kay.
I think Mr. Parker's getting him from outside.
Yeah, he's ready. Or 5 clause numbers here, and they are clause numbers 22, 39084, 39085, 39086, 39087, and 39088. And they all similarly alleged from documents charging Alan Wayne Kay, the defendant, with the second degree felony of promotion of child pornography. And you are Mr. Kay.
Correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Parker, your attorney in the state's attorney. All of these are the same charge, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get this straight. These are, I guess, alleging individual items.
It's separate images. Yes, Judge. Yes.
What was the total amount?
Judge, it's in the PSI. There was 87 images and 43 videos that were certain to be child pornography. There were others that we just couldn't determine. 87 and 28. 43, sorry. Thank you.
All right, the agreement here is that the defendant is looking at a cap, well, no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement on each case. And this is to run concurrently, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have the parties had an opportunity to review each of these pre-sentence reports, and are there any changes or corrections?
None that I'm aware of, Judge.
None from the defense?
None from the state.
Go ahead, Mr. Parker, on behalf of Mr. Kay.
Your Honor, I mean, the first thing that I'd like to point out is the court's aware that he has a limited criminal history. I think there's 1 misdemeanor case, and then he's never had a felony, and this is the only felony he's ever charged with. That being said, we're asking for the court to give him deferred probation in this matter. The court will still have, if there's any mess up, any violation, the court has the full range of punishment at their disposal. He's a low risk according to the PSI, Judge, would I read it? And the specific facts, the way I understand them, is that I think there was only 1 person, I'm sure Ms. Kim would correct me if I'm wrong, but they were sending the videos or the photograph back and forth to each other. And I think it's pretty honest in the PSI that one of the things he says is that he was sent from, I think his name was Herman, or that's what they were calling him. And then Herman called and said, "I lost him. Would you send him back to me?" And he did.
He was the gentleman that I was speaking with.
Who is that?
He's never met him. He's a guy in St. Louis.
Okay.
And
that's what I was getting at.
Right.
I mean, that's the point. I mean,
Right.
You don't know who they are.
I have no idea. Correct, Your Honor.
So you just struck up a relationship with child pornography with a stranger, somebody you don't even know, right?
Correct.
Then it got sums it out.
And you know, this is an illness, and it's not something that we take lightly.
He's being treated.
He's actually been looking at places to get treated.
This happened. When did this happen?
We executed the search warrant November 30th, 2020.
Yeah, okay, so you recognize you had an illness, and what are we, over 2 years? What treatment are you undertaking right now?
I am seeking treatment, in-person treatment.
None.
I have none, correct, Your Honor.
And part of the problem from speaking with him in the past, that there was online treatment, and I said, that's not going to do it. You need some type of, which he admitted that he needed in-person therapy. And I mean, but whether has done it or hasn't done it, it's still something that he needs and that he's wanting to do. And I can represent to the court that he has looked into getting it. It's just a matter of trying to find out what's best for his needs. And he actually probably needs some help. And he's asked me, like, what, I mean, I don't know, but you can get help from probation or whoever as to what to do. And
if I felt like I need something, I wouldn't linger for 2 years over my condition, knowing saying I've got a terrible condition I need help for. I go to somebody who could help me. And then languish for 2 years and suffer or.
And I agree. A lot of people would judge, but not all people do that. And whether it's rational or not, I mean, same point. I mean, we wouldn't.
And as part of it makes, that's what's the difference between.
Right. I mean,
some people and criminals.
Well, yeah. And you wouldn't be in a situation. I mean, and I don't know. There's people that get sick with other illnesses. They don't want to go to the doctor. And I get it, but he's not trying to justify it. But I can represent this court. He has called me and asked what he should do about getting help. Whether he has or not, he has it. But he needs it. And that's what we're asking. You know, like I said, he's a low risk, no criminal history. We're asking for deferred probation. You still got the full range of punishment. And he's admitted what he's done. He accepts responsibility. And we're asking for probation, Judge.
Judges all feels really flippant to refer to possessing child pornography, not just lewd images of children, which were a handful of the images that he had. Most of these were images and videos of children being sexually assaulted repeatedly. And the defendant's attitude about it is, I'm sorry somebody took photos of them without their permission. That's what he said in the PSI. There's no recognition from him about really the harm to these kids. He also it feels like very much the, I'm not sorry I did it, I'm sorry I got caught kind of attitude when he says that he would send me photos, I would send them back. Not all were of sexual content. I did not realize it was still there. I thought I had deleted it. That's his attitude about it is that. But he didn't just not delete them off Facebook. These were on his cell phone. This Herman man was not the only person he was communicating with.
And he's only charged with possession, not.
So he's charged with promotion. These are charges for promotion of child pornography because he was sending them back and forth to Herman. So he is sharing with that with others.
All lives the same way, right?
Yes, sir, because they're different images depending on what's happening in the image or the video. That's the description for, like, the first one is sexual contact. That's going to be probably about masturbating or touching themselves.
Is this true? You manufactured and distributed pornography of your child?
No, sir.
That's his daughter. That is his adult daughter, and there is absolutely photos and videos.
That's your child.
That's not what the charge. I thought you were asking if that's one of the charges.
It's in the pre-sentence.
Right. I thought you were asking if it was a charge. No, she's correct.
He is not charged with that because she is an adult.
Let's go play hide.
I'm not playing hide and seek. I thought you asked.
Taylor K is your child.
Yes, sir.
There are 27 images and 28 videos of pornography of her. You're looking over here. Look at me. That's what's in the pre-sentence report that's nobody's objected to.
Nobody.
Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
I just want to get that straight. I mean, who makes pornography of their own child and distributes it. You don't see anything terribly harmful, shameful,
Yes, I
low
do.
life about that, much less distributing to others and accepting child pornography of stranger children, of literature, of
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, now, what was the age of your child when all of these images and videos were produced by you?
She was
I think
over
45.
18. She was over 18. I don't remember the exact age she was at the time.
Oh, it's such a-
I have no answer for that, Judge. I'm literally, I'm got a disease and I don't know what to do about it.
Okay, how about stop? You really, whatever this disease is, you couldn't see that this is an immoral, satanic act to bring your child into the underworld of pornography, manufacture and then distribute it and promote that. You don't see this as being a horrendous, terrible.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That harmed her. I'm parents, grandparents. I can't even fathom the thought of that. And I'm a regular person. I'm a regular person. Disease or not. Your disease has been festering for years. And to this day, you don't have anything. You haven't done much about this disease. Starts off with restraint of your perverse volitions. Every child depicted here that is part of child pornography that you had something to do with was victimized. Not only are they victimized when they're seduced into the making of child pornography, but every time it's distributed, it's a further victimization of the child depicted. I've done this long enough. I've handled defense and the prosecution and the presiding judge over pornography, child pornography. And it is straight from hell. Because it's the moral, despicable nature of it it's at the bottom. Plus, when you bring your child into it, you bring your child into it and victimize your own child. It's just hard for somebody like me to fathom. But we're not talking about just the possession of pornography, which is bad enough because without people willingly wanting to possess it, there is no market for it. And it would, except for the making it for themselves, then child pornography wouldn't exist. So it wouldn't be distributed if people said this is uncorrect and sends us straight to hell. And this is not what we want to be a part of because we have free will and choices and we know right from wrong, evil from good. And this is pure evil, pure evil. I can't imagine harming a child. And this is the gift that keeps on giving because there's no way you can put the genie back in the bottle when you have distributed child pornography of someone. You can't ever get it back. It gets out there. It's always out there. The child goes through the rest of their life being victimized. The harm never can end when this happens. It would be back in the bottle on child pornography when you distribute it.
I understand.
I don't know if this because now did you make these images of your child, your own child? Did you manufacture this child pornography of your own child after these other images were acquired?
I believe that was after I received the first couple. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And we're talking about children here being that he was in this child pornography was involved with, in this case, 6 to 8 years of age, as young as 6 to 8.
And they're all prepubescent children, Judge. They're not teenagers, more in that age range. They're all prepubescent, and that one file that they're describing there, that is the approximation of 6 to 8 years old. I think that's pretty average for the age on most of these.
And here's on this. That's it. I'm just gonna point this one out. One of the files uploaded depicted a nude pubescent. This is so upsetting to any decent, and I consider myself really, I hope I'm deemed a decent person, but this is so foreign to any sense of decency. So foreign. One of the files uploaded depicts a nude prepubescent female child, approximately 6 to 8 years of age, laying down on her back in what appears to be a gray blanket. The female child is wearing a yellow shirt, partially pulled up, and she is nude from the waist down. There is a nude adult male kneeling in front of the child, with his mouth laid right over the top of the male's child. The adult male's erect penis is observed touching the female child's genitals.
That's just sick. Sickening.
That's a rape. I mean, it is depicting the rape of a child. That's what you found amusing, what you collected, and part of what you pass on to others. Everybody gets the message here about how despicable this is. And at least for your part, you state, I realized it was wrong, the wrong thing to do, and I shouldn't have done it. What period of time did this last?
This
20
months?
No.
He shared many of the cyber tip was reported by Facebook on November 30th. So that is when we shared those images. We ran the search warrant on April 22nd, 2021. So about 6 months later, where he still had, like, he is charged with the promotion of what was shared over Facebook. He still possessed those 87 images and 43 videos and stuff when we executed the search warrant. The conversations with Herman went back further than that.
I mean, that's what happens with child pornographers, is they keep that trophies. So we learned from the FBI when I was in the U.S. Attorney's Office. So they're kept as trophies because that's the despicable nature of the character of the people who deal with this. And if you ever thought it was moral or wrong, we were sure able to endure that shame for a long time. Until really, you weren't the one who came forward. You got caught. Okay.
Judge, I mean, I think you've pretty much covered it. I mean, the state's concern that I do want to point out, because Mr. Parker referenced that he's low risk. Number one, those risk assessments, the static 99 is not designed for non-contact offenses like this. That is for hands-on offenses for sex offenders. We do not have a risk assessment for non-contact offenses like this. It's the best we can do. But that low risk is low risk among other sex offenders. It's not to the general population. And I think given these letters of support, I guess is what we'll call them, from specifically the two people that the defendant is currently living with his adult daughter, one of them says, we share the same moral ideals with regards to our obligations to family, friends, and society. They're talking about him being a good bowler and a great cook. They have children in their home that they are sending the defendant to pick up from school and work. The defendant's adult daughter is still living there. It's just such a lack of awareness in these letters of what's going on.
Well, they're trying to.
I get that,
and
but
I don't begrudge people who come forward who are trying to help them. But that's why we have state, the people, and the defense, and then everybody gets those two sides. Then the court can make an informed, educated choice based upon weighing both views, and that's important. We're just not going to take one side of this.
no, I understand, Judge, but I think that increases his risk that he has access to children and people who do not seem to acknowledge the seriousness of this. That's my point in that.
They certainly aren't acknowledging it, but that wouldn't help him, which they're trying to support him. And I understand that. I can see through it. This is what it is. And there's no decent person who can not see this for what it is. And even you say it. Even you admit it. You have to.
Yes, Your Honor.
We should have gotten up one morning and said, I can't live with myself anymore. This is terrible. I know right from wrong. I can make a clear choice here.
I certainly wish I would have also.
Fortunately, somebody had to catch it. Fortunately, 4 more kids.
I am actually grateful that I did get caught, so it doesn't happen anymore.
Anything else to add? Okay. And I don't begrudge Mr. Parker, who vigorously represents his clients, but you gotta give him some things to work with. This one is a tough one for the attorney. Make it look good, because this is just despicable. The nature of it is despicable. The length of times, the amount of victims, and including involvement of your own child into this cesspool of despicable actions. In each of these cases, you have pleaded guilty voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understand the consequences of pleading guilty. There is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty pleas. In each of these cases, from State's Exhibit 1 admitted to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm following this agreement. And when you were denied sentence to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years on each case, and these cases shall run concurrently as agreed upon by the parties. Fortunately, we don't have many of these cases. A lot of them end up in federal court, where the sentences are just as or more lengthy, because there are no courts in this land under the rules of behavior and rules of decency that we profess to represent that condone this, and it's condemned. I just wish you would have caught it early and gone to correct these errors. I wish these children were not victims. And there will always be victimized because you cannot get all these images back. They're out there circulating. And most importantly, most critical to me, if that wasn't bad enough, why you would victimize your mother? That's horrifying. That would make me wake up at nights with nightmares thinking that I had put my child into a position like this. She is victimized because that's out there. It's out there forever. Computer, you cannot find those images completely and bring them all back. I can't understand how you seem to be saying all the right things now. But this went over a period of years. And why you couldn't envision the ultimate resolvement in this case is it would fall upon you, but you would get it on. You would have to have a reckoning to this. Why you couldn't see that early and dealt with it? You're responsible is what I wish, not only for you, but for all these people, all these children. That's who I really feel sorry because they didn't have their opportunity to make a free will choice. Children don't get that in them study in the product of the life. But they're not making your decisions. But the mature person, the adult, is responsible most a lot. And they're held accountable when they involve children. Anything else? That is something.
I think it is.
Sharp success.